can you lift with a diastasis or a diastasis recti? And the answer to that is yes, of course you can lift. But the thing it comes down to is how you lift. Okay, so there are definitely lifts that are safer than others, inherently safer. And then there are also just lifts that are poorly executed that could be safe, but aren't at the moment because of how the lift is being done. So let's talk through a couple parameters that can help you make your decision on whether or not you should do a certain lift. So when we look at a diastasis, we want to look at how the midline of the body is loading. Is it loading well? Is the diastasis firming in the middle? It might get a little bit wider, and that's okay, as long as it's firming up in the middle and we feel like we have that connection. Now, if you're getting doming or distension out, so it kind of puckers out or tense out when you do an exercise, that is loading poorly. So we want to back off a little bit and re-examine why it's loading that way. Is it loading that way because your breathing system is not quite on point? So when I work with women that are healing diastasis, that's usually the tipping point for women who feel like they've done everything. They've done all the TA work, they've done all the exercises, blah, blah, blah. If they're given another like abdominal brace or dead bug or whatever, they're just gonna scream. But usually it comes down to their breathing and how their breathing system is working, and usually there's something going on there that we need to fix. All right, so that aside, let's go back to lifting and loading. Okay, so we're gonna figure out why you're getting tenting or doming during that exercise. Is something going wrong, or is the exercise too hard? Which isn't easy, because if the exercise is just too hard, we say, okay, what's an easier version of the exercise? Then we execute that. Did they get tenting or doming during the exercise when it was the easier version? If yes, let's make it even easier. Let's find the easiest version of that particular way of loading the body until we find that breaking point where you are no longer tenting or doming out of your diastasis. And that might take a lot of work, and you might end up needing to regress a little further than you think you might need to regress, but it happens. And then sometimes you might surprise yourself. So I also work with people that are terrified to lift and get back into moving weights around or even body weight exercises because they don't want to make their diastasis worse. And when we challenge them and we do harder things, we actually notice better control in their diastasis. We notice more firmness. We notice maybe more narrowing with great firmness. Right? So maybe their diastasis actually responds really well to the lift at hand. But we won't know until we try. So that is my argument for when somebody says, can I lift with a diastasis? I'm like, sure, but it's not a free-for-all, okay? So there are lots of, just mindfulness that needs to happen when you are lifting to make that lifting safe, which I know you are capable of. All right, so feel free to join us in our membership program if you would like a little bit more direction on what could potentially be a safe and an easier version of exercises to help you while you are working on rehabbing your diastasis. But the bottom line here is just listen to your body. Okay, listen to what's happening and listen to how your body is responding. And if it's not responding well, change. And if it is responding well, keep doing it, or potentially even make it more challenging.